Hey everyone, welcome back to some more work on my vanilla command block project, where I'm using command blocks to overhaul the general features of vanilla Minecraft. So last time we showed off the weapon particle effects that I inbuilt, but more importantly we went through the fact that I'm almost done, which is really good to hear. One of the big things I did add, so one of the last things I was trying to figure out how exactly to do is this mob promotion system. So what this system actually does is it randomly gives different mobs in the world attributes. So the attribute systems in Minecraft control speed, following, attack damage, armor, all the stats essentially of Minecraft. So you can think of it like a Diablo style, where just randomly out in the world while you're traveling you might come across a zombie with a special buff or two. And to note these buffs I have used particles, and I've also made a way for the player to manufacture them themselves. So you can see in my inventory I've got bottles of Dragon's Breath, as well as over here a few items. So we take out bottles of Dragon's Breath and we grab some of these items. What you can actually do is you can throw them onto Crying Obsidian, and they get merged, and we get a new item. So this one adds to this Breath of Steel. So Golden Apple, Ender Eyes, Nether Quartz, Netherite ingots, Nautilus shells, iron ingots, amethyst shards, and blaze powders all can be used to effectively modify the attributes of any mob using these dragon breaths. So we've got Breath of Life, Sight, Celerity, Unyielding, Unbending, Steel, Power, and Rage. So the way they work is if we go ahead and grab a husk egg, we very much do like the husks, considering they don't burn up, and we'll go... here will do. And we're somewhat excluded. So, all we have to do is drop one of these flasks onto the husk, like so. It's crackled, and now he has this particle effect. And that denotes the fact that he's now been upgraded. We can take it a bit further and we'll show it off the best way possible. If we use data get on the entity, you can see here he's now got this tag, and it's called health. And what this does is it adds a modifier here, so attributes, space, and then modifier. This one that's labeled health is one I've added. You can see that there's normal ones like, in fact I don't think they're named, are they? They're just, oh no, they do have names, random spawn bonus, generic max health, etc. But yeah, so this one I've added myself, and it affects his health. Now, annoyingly, I don't think zombies regen by themselves. What was its health? We can find it. Be somewhere near the top here. No, down the bottom maybe? I'm looking for health. Anyone see it? Not this health, this health. So he's on 20. We can go ahead and take out instant damage, right, for undead mobs. A splash potion will do. Let's give him a couple. And if we grab his data again, you now see his health is at 40, and that's because the modifier I'm adding essentially doubles their health, or allows it to be doubled. Like with goats or anything that can naturally regen, it'll obviously stack up. Zombies, through my built-in systems, they've got ways to heal my mob abilities. I wonder if one will proc. I lowered the chance of them hitting. I might increase it. I gotta tinker with it and balance it properly. But yeah, essentially, it's just a way to strengthen them. The health one, it's not overly impactful, especially on the undead mobs, but on things that can regen, I'm pretty sure pillagers and all that have natural regen, will be fine. But we do have these other ones, so like Breath of Sight, Celerity is speed. Dump that one on him. So it should disappear. He'll get more particle effects. So yeah, he's got this little... what particle did I use? I feel like it's the cloud particle. Or poof. No, it's a bit different. The end rod maybe? Yeah, that might be it. If we grab his data again... Ooh, not that. That... You now see he's got another tag, speed, and we can scroll up and we can find speed, and he's a little bit faster if you can sort of tell. I'll grab out of the village, I can chase it. Not too much, just a little bit of an improvement. Let's see, who gets to it first? They're not doing a great job of showing. Again, I do have to like tinker with all the values and everything and balance it a bit more. But essentially the way this system works is it's on a timer like most of my things, so every 1 minute it's going to select 8 mobs out in the world and give them each one of the tags. Obviously they can be stacked, all 8 fall on one mob, depending how many mobs are loaded in the world, obviously. Spread out, I might reduce it and make it a bit more frequent. Obviously I want them to be rare, but if I'm making them rarer, then I need to increase the amount by which it does modify. So for instance, the speed here multiplies the base by 20%, so it's a 20% buff, whereas the health, I think, no, follow this one, health is 100% buff. So it doubles whatever the health is. I might increase it further so it's substantially impactful. I'll have to play around and tinker with it, obviously. But I just thought it was a good way to give the player something else to play around with. That's one of the big things I dislike about the direction of Minecraft, is a lot of their features are just cut off for whatever reason. They half implement something and then work on a new project. I would assume from most company standpoints, this is Microsoft's doing more so than Mojang. So essentially, a company just wants, well, profit. And the easiest way to do profit with a game like Minecraft is to obviously come up with a new, bigger, better thing. And working on the back end, like the attribute system that they've never utilized, unfortunately. All these stats on armor and that. There's a whole bunch more than obviously just armor, toughness, and damage. We've tinkered with them ourselves and made ways to upgrade. Iron is this row. We'll just take out raw iron. So like for instance, we've got 6 attack damage, 1.6 attack speed. Draw it on here. Block up iron. Smithed, and now it's also got knockback resistance. A bit more attack damage. -2 speed. Is actually quicker than normal. For whatever reason, the attribute works in a negative fashion. So for instance, this one, even though it says 1.6, it's actually -1.4. Yeah, which is confusing. But anyway, I just thought it was a good way to give the player a way to utilize these features that Mojang has essentially discontinued in a sense. I mean, they promised to obviously rework combat again, and that's not going to happen, to be honest. If it does, I would be greatly surprised. They're just going to continue to add things that essentially provide more content to the majority of players, and the majority of players are survivals. So people who build a world, experience everything, travel, want to see new mobs, all those types of things, not people who, tinker like I do with my massive command blocks. So I just wanted to give the player a more functional use of some of the great systems that Minecraft has. Because, I mean, the attribute mechanic, this command, you can do a lot of things with it. You can give the player attributes, you can obviously give mobs attributes, you can decrease them, you could make zones with negative. To do it with command blocks is a lot harder, because you need to keep track of a lot of things. They need specific identification numbers that have to be unique. So they're the UUID, if you've ever seen that or heard that. It's, where is it? This one. So this random assortment of numbers, and essentially everything you add needs a randomly generated one. And as a person, obviously I could plug into a computer by itself to keep track of them, and it would just be a headache to do it more so than just this basic function of being able to craft these different dragon breaths and then just to apply them to any mob in the world you want. But I mean, it will be useful. You can, any iron golem farms, you can boost their attack damage, their health. I could go the opposite way and make negative versions. That'll probably be a decent thing. I'm pretty sure if you reduce the max health, an entity's health decreases. So for instance, if I were to, rather than give it double the health, I gave it half, that 20 would automatically become a 10. Which is something I could look into doing, but this is not the direction I want to go. I want to be done with all the extra features and just move on to working on the bosses. But there's always food for thought, and there's always different directions. Heck, while I was doing the weapon effects, I almost wanted to rip apart the whole system and redesign it in a more flexible way with a lot more basic concepts than what I came up with, but make it more customizable. But I think the 30 variations are funner than being able to, stack minor effects. If you've ever played World of Warcraft, the talent system compared to, what was it called? Was it just perks? The really, really crappy one they introduced in, I want to say Mr. Pandaria? Is that when they did the talent cut? Anyway, that's pretty much it. I just want to show off this attribute system. I guess I should probably go over the commands. I mean, they're fairly simple. Again, like I said, it's on a timer. I have to make this massive list of mobs to exclude. I don't understand what the hashtag is for. I thought it was meant to be a whitelist, blacklist, so anything with the exclamation mark, it doesn't check, and everything with a hashtag, it only checks. But that's not the case, and it doesn't actually work on Java. So yeah, so I have a massive list of entities not to include, and all we're using is the tag command. So every minute, a random entity will be tagged with speed, health, follow, resistance, attack, armor toughness, and knockback. Right? Did I get that right? Cool. And then from there, if they have the tag, it will apply the attribute to them, and obviously give them the particle effect, which is fairly simple. Just here. You can mess around with these if you want. All you have to change is the tag, and obviously this Minecraft generic dot movement speed. The Java will let you select all the different attributes that are available. There are a few that only are applicable to, obviously, entities like fly or the player, but these 8 are generally universal for all mobs. And of course, you need your unique UID. Luckily for me, I've just used 1 through 8, and then a name, the amount you want to. If you're using multiply to percentages, so this is 20%, obviously 2 would be 200%. If you're using add, you'd have to actually look up the attribute, because some of them use point numbers, integers, is that the correct term? And then some use whole numbers. And then the particle is very simple. It just finds any entity with the tag and spawns particles at their location. Really simple. Just a fun way to add a little bit more customization to the player in vanilla. Because after all I want to create is an expanded vanilla experience. More so for me, these are things I wish I could actively do in a world. You know, to be able to, you know, create arena, give mobs all these different effects. Because there's ways you can stack it further with, obviously, potion effects and everything. I do really now want to expand upon it. Maybe different tiers of the breath. Sorry, I have trouble with TH sometimes. Anyway, that'll do for now. Hope you enjoyed. See ya.